Okay, we got the box pretty much painted, gave it its first coat, and then we came in and put in the structure above the box that will hold our transparent panels to let the sunlight in. And you'll notice there we based it on a 30-degree angle. Now its height above the box itself is up to you. You can vary that by just shortening the legs up. I'm fairly tall, so I wanted it up a little bit higher so I could, stand up and work with it. You'll notice that we put in right here, we notched this 2x4 around the leg so we had a nice tight fit. We did the same thing down here, notched it around so we have a nice tight fit, and pre-drilled a couple of small pilot holes for the deck screws we used. They were 2.5-inch deck screws on each one of these ends going through the back here. As you can see here, we actually used a 2.5-inch composite deck screw. They have a really small head on them, and you really minimize the chance of splitting this piece of cedar. And cedar is known to split very easily. And what we did additionally, as you can see back here, we've got this white foundation insulation panel in back here. Now we're not expecting it to actually work as insulation, but what it does do, I don't know if you can see it here, acts as a reflective surface. Since this is probably going to be backed up against the wall, any transparency in the back would be absolutely useless. So I put the reflective side of the foundation panel in the back, and for that we used, you can try to show you here, these bought one stick of this notched cedar, and this is actually a lattice trim work. You can get these down at Home Depot. They're $10 a stick, and the notch is actually just a little bit over a 1/2 inch, which is exactly the width of this foundation insulation panel. So what we did is put those on either side here. You can see, and then just cut the panel to be about, I'd say about an 1/8 inch taller than the lower notch. And when summer comes, and it gets a little bit warm, all we got to do is pull out the panel, place it to the side, and we won't have a problem with heat buildup. Another thing we did was, you can see it back here, we have a small piece of wood that we pre-drilled and used some more of the composite deck screws to attach it to the box. This is, I believe, 5/8 by 1/2 inch molding. You can get that down at Home Depot in the molding section. And what I'll do is I'll go back through and I'll paint all this so it's all sealed up, and so the water won't affect it. And next we're going to go in, and down here by that right there, we're going to run a ledger piece across, and a small framework on the outside to hold another piece of reflective surface. It's up to you whether you put a transparent piece in there or a reflective surface. Totally up to you. I'm just thinking that we're going to be having this thing pointing south most of the time, so the side piece is going to be pretty useless for emitting sun, but we can use it to reflect some back in. And we'll also give you the ability to pop that out in the summer, so you have a cross breeze and you don't have any excess light reflecting down on the plants and burning them up. So what I'm going to do, I was going to explain all these dimensions to you. What I decided to do instead was to create a set of plans, and All you need to do to get the set of plans is go over to the website that's listed down below in the description if you're on YouTube, and sign up for a subscription, and you'll get the plans. All the dimensions will be on there. You can change it however you want, and that'll be that. So let me get this painted up, and I'll be back with the addition of the transparent tops, which should be interesting. Talk to you in a little bit. Bye. And we're back again. As you can see here, we've put on our lip right here, which will gives us a 1/2 inch reveal down here that will allow us to place our material that we're using. And in this case, it's a reflective piece of foundation board. The reflective side, of course, is over here. This was, like you see down here, white. So what I did is I went and I got some plastic spray paint, mocha, so it would somewhat match the box, at least not clash with it. And I gave it one coat. Covered pretty good and worked pretty well. When you cut this, you're going to want to cut it so that it's a press fit for most part. This one is cut a little bit small, so it's not going to fit real well. I'm going to have to go in here and attach a couple cleats on the back side to hold it in. If you get one like over here, this one is, you can see it's good press fit in there. It's not going to come out. But if you're worried about a big gust of wind catch it and blow it in or something, you can go in there and put in a small piece of wood. Just this, I think this is 1/2 by 5/8, and you just stick it and screw it in here. That'll hold it in, and everything should work out fine. The other thing we did is we put on our top, our hinge top for the lid, and we screwed the hinges in. Now this will not be straight when you put it on. It's just the nature of the beast being not having any kind of corner supports. So what we did over here, you can see I put a piece of wood in here which holds it straight against the frame. But what I'll do now is I'll come along here and all around the edge I'm going to lay in a bead of clear OSI caulk, so that when to hold our panel on the top. Once it dries, it shouldn't be a problem. Now these panels, you can see over here, happen to be 24 inches wide each. So that means you're going to have a seam down the middle. And for the seam, all I did was grab some clear Gorilla tape and put a 1.5 inch line of tape on the back. The Gorilla tape is meant for damp areas, and it should work okay. If not, we can always replace it with something else. And I'm also, when I'm done, I'm going to run a seam of clear OSI caulk down the middle. Now when you're putting it on, you see I have a block here, there's a block back there, and there's a block back over here that mark the edges of the inside of where the frame is. And that makes it so I can place this thing right down on top of the caulk without smearing it around, and then clamp the edges down on the panels. One of the problems with these panels is going to be, if you see here, each one there's a number of cells in each one of these panels, and if you don't close up each cell with either some tape or pumping some clear OSI caulk into each frame, then you're going to wind up with moisture in between, which will block your sunlight and look unsightly, to say the least. So when I put this thing on and get it all glued down, I'm going to put a dab of OSI caulk in each one of these and seal it up so it doesn't leak and get moisture in it. Other than that, that's all we have for you right now. I'm going to get this thing all glued up and back together, and I'll be back when I'm done, and we'll move on to the next little strip. Bye. Alrighty, so here we are. We're just about finished. We've put the skirt on the bottom, which is the 1x6 board at the bottom here to make it look like it's floating above the floor. We've added these cleats right here, one on the front and one on the back, which is they're set at the exact same width as this panel. And as you can see in the back there, maybe I can see in the back that the cleats haven't been painted yet. I wanted to show you that we also put a arm in here to hold it up on warm days when you don't want to have the thing closed. And down in here we can show you what we did with the cleats. Just basic piece of 1/2 by 5/8, set to the thickness, and there's pre-drilled composite deck screws that go down here. I'll paint these in a little bit. Other than that, back here, take note of the hinges. These are flag hinges, and they're not easy to find. Basically what this does is it makes it possible for us to take this top and slide it right off. These are detachable. So in the summer, when you just want to use this thing for growing, you can pop the lid off, you can pop out the panels, and you can take out the front piece. So this thing will be completely wide open, and you won't have any anything to impede airflow through there when it's warm. Other than that, we've added a handle for it. And one of the things I was going to try that I told you about, that I decided it wasn't going to work out too well, was this edge prep. I went along here and I put a dab of silicone sealer in there, sealed up so these thin things get any water on them. That doesn't work. The silicone sealer recedes and this just doesn't work. So what I decided to do is up here I put in a row of aluminum ducting tape, and this stuff it's thin, the adhesive is really good on it, and all you do is just run an inch line along here so you can put the tape in nice and straight, lay it in there nice and smooth, fold it around the back, it'll stick real nice, and then all you do is tape this off with some masking tape and some newspaper and spray it with your paint that you use down here on the panel. Takes real nice and it gives it a real nice effect. I'm going to come down here and do the same thing along this edge to make it look good. So when you see the final picture, that'll be in there. But I think that's it. We're ready to put dirt in it, and that'll be the very last thing we do as soon as we carry it around back. I'll be back with that coming right up next. Okay, folks, with the miracle of time-lapse photography here, it's been a month since I completed this, and we planted it, and this is our result. As you can see, we have the we have everything growing. We've got radishes, a line of beets, some more radishes. God knows what they are. Let's see. Lettuce, a couple rows of lettuce, and then a couple rows of carrots. So you can see it's working out fairly well. And our weather has been absolute crap here for the last, since last December it's been crap, but it's finally starting to let up. We're getting a little bit of warmth. So as you can see, it's working out just wonderfully. The only thing I want to point out to you is down here, when we made these, the sizes, I made those strictly because I wanted to plant carrots in here and I needed the depth. Anything you want to do is fine. Whatever depth of dirt you need, just stack your wood on top and get that depth. I had to go for somewhere around 10 inches just to get the depth for the carrots. But there you go. It's been a month. It's working out just fine. And as a matter of fact, it was so hot out here today I had to open it up. So there you go. Let us know what you think. Bye.